Good afternoon. Welcome to Africa Today. I am with first the headline. Northern and Southern senators disagree on journalism. Ghana President Akufo-Addo set to begin 2024 election campaign tour on October 2nd. Egypt demands permanent seat for Africa, Arab states at UN Security Council. And on sport, Oshola nets sixth goal of season in BFC's win over Seattle Reign. Now the news in details. 79 Constitution organized by the Senate Committee on Constitutional Review in collaboration with the Policy and Legal Advocacy Center in Kano, while senators from the northern part of the country who spoke on the issue vehemently opposed it. Those from southern Nigeria described it as a welcome development that would improve the economy, tackle insecurity and fast-track infrastructural development. The Red Chamber, through the Senate leader Bayemi Bamidele, has, however, assured Nigerians that issue of regionalism was not part of the ongoing review of nation's constitution. Away from that, the Senate President Godswill Akpabio has urged Nigerians to be patient and hopeful, saying that the country's brightest days are coming soon. Akpabio said this over the weekend in Abuja as part of activities to mark Nigeria's 64th independence anniversary. He noted that Nigerians' brightest days are ahead. Together with unwavering belief, will build a nation that generations to come will be proud of. Let's also have you know that the National Emergency Management Agency said it has deployed a team to monitor rivers Benue and River Niger following the release of water from Lagdo Dam in Cameroon. NEMA spokesperson Manzo Ezekiel disclosed this to newsmen over the weekend. Ezekiel noted that some communities had already been affected by the water release from the Lagdo Dam. Meanwhile, the federal government has predicted 5 days of heavy rainfall, which may lead to flooding in 15 states. The flood prediction obtained over the weekend from the National Flood Early Warning System Center of the Federal Ministry of Environment also urged stakeholders to take note. The center indicated that the identified locations and their environs are likely to witness heavy rainfall that may lead to flood within the period of prediction from September 29th to October 3rd, 2024. When we return, news from other parts of West Africa. Please stay with us.
This is Hillstv. Quality broadcasting is what we'll bring to you. Now we be this
Hillstv, Polka.
Welcome back. Now news from other parts of West Africa. Ghana President Akufo-Addo is set to kick off his campaign for the new Patriotic Party (NPP) 2024 presidential election on Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024. He will be campaigning alongside Vice President Mahamudu Buamial and his running mate Matthew Opoku Primpe, as well as all NPP parliamentary candidates across the 276 constituencies. The campaign tour will commence in the Upper East and Upper West regions and is expected to span approximately 65 days leading up to the presidential and parliamentary elections on December 7, 2024. Meanwhile, Bawumial and Propel have been actively engaging in constituency-based campaign over the past few months. Let's also have you know that an annular solar eclipse known as Ring of Fire will be visible on Wednesday, October 2nd over Easter Island and the tips of Argentina and Chile. Caroline Sommer, Vice President of Astronomy at the Houston Museum of Natural Science, says this eclipse will occur mostly over water in the Pacific. He disclosed that 95% of the annual eclipse, is going to be over water. Just 5% of the time it's over land. But this eclipse actually crosses Estal inland, which is the most remote inhabited place in the whole planet with big statues. A partial solar eclipse, when the sun appears as a crescent, can be seen from Brazil, Paraguay, Uruguay, and Hawaii, he added. Now we move to other parts of Africa after this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back. Now news from other parts of Africa. At the UN General Assembly, Egypt Foreign Minister demanded permanent seat for African and Arab nations at the UN Security Council. Badr Ahmed Mohamed Abdelatil also called for a ceasefire in Gaza as the conflict is on the brink of entering its 12th month, insisting that it was his government's priority to put an end to the fighting. He also urged for the immediate delivery of medical and humanitarian assistance to civilians in the enclave, as the humanitarian situation on the ground grows increasingly there. Speaking at the UN General Assembly, Somalia Prime Minister Hamza Abdul Barre slammed Ethiopia over its deal with the self-declared Republic of Somali to lease a strip of gas line. Agreed earlier this year, Somaliland independence has not been internationally recognized, and Somalia has denounced the deal as violating its sovereignty. Over the weekend, Abdul Barre said Somali ports have always been accessible for Ethiopia's legitimate commercial activities, reflecting their commitment to regional trade and cooperation.
Somalia currently faces a serious threat from Ethiopia's recent actions, which flagrantly violate our territorial integrity. Ethiopia's attempts to annex parts of Somalia under the guise of securing sea access are both unlawful and unnecessary. Somali ports have always been accessible for Ethiopia's legitimate commercial activities, reflecting our commitment to regional trade and cooperation.
However, Ethiopia's aggressive maneuver, including a controversial agreement with one of the regional administration, undermines Somali sovereignty and emboldens secessionist movement, threatening national unity, he added. He accused the deal of serving as propaganda for terrorist groups like Al-Shabaab, who exploit Ethiopians' provocations to recruit and radicalize vulnerable individuals. Up next is business. Stay with us. Welcome back now to business news. The World Bank has approved 3 new loan requests totaling $1.57 billion in financing for Nigeria. According to a statement released on Monday, the approval is to support the federal government in strengthening human capital through better health for women, children, and adolescents. It added that the approved project will also help build resilience to the effect of climate change, such as flood and drought, by improving dam safety and irrigation. The South African rand extended last week's gain in early trade on Monday, as investors looked into a handful of data releases for further sign of an improvement in the domestic economy. The rand traded at 17 over 17 against the dollar, about 0.5% stronger than its closing level over the weekend. Central Bank data on Monday showed a pickup in August private sector credit growth to 4.95% year-on-year, a positive sign which may help Africa's most industrialized economy build momentum in the second half of the year. Analysts said in a research note that the rand could break below 17 to the dollar this week as the U.S. currency remains on the defensive and inflows into the South African bond market are supportive. The benchmark 2030 government bond was flat in early days. They yielded at 8.8%. Still to come is sport. Stay with us. Welcome back now to Sport News. Asisat Oshoala scored the decisive goal as BFC recorded a 1-0 away win against Seattle Reign in the ULSL fixture. Oshoala fired home the winning goal from the spot 3 minutes before the half-hour mark. The Nigerian has now scored 7 goals for BFC this season. The win took the modest club to 8th position on 28 points after 22 games on the 14-team league table. Oshoala moved to BFC in February 2024 after severing ties with Barcelona. BFC would be away to Gatton FC in their next league game. We also have that Remo Stars technical advisor Daniel Ogumodele has described his team's win over Rangers as incredible. The Sky Blue Stars defeated defending champions Rangers 2-1 at the Remo Stars Stadium over the weekend. Alex Ayowa and Tochukwu Michael were on target for Remo Stars, while Kenechukwu Agu netted the consolation for the Rangers. Ogumodele heaped praises on the players for the victory. And that's your sport news on Africa Today. We move to the rest of the news after this break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Now the rest of the news. While the federal government is planning a low-key Independence Day anniversary celebration, the End Bad Governance protest organizers have also included plans to stage protests across the country. For the second time after President Bola Tinubu took over the leadership mantle in 2023, the federal government on Thursday, September 26, announced that the October 1st Independence Day would be on a low-key basis due to the mood of the nation. The secretary to the government of the Federation, George Akume, told newsmen that President Tinubu's government was aware of and sympathized with all Nigerians over the economic conditions they were passing through, hence the reason for a low-key celebration. However, some activists clamoring to end bad governance in Nigeria are seeing the event as a fertile ground to continue their protest against the high cost of living and other lingering challenges bedeviling the nation. And that's Africa Today, but before we go, here are the headlines once again. We told you that Northern and Southern senators disagree on regionalism. We informed you that Ghana's President Akufo-Addo set to begin 2023 election campaign talk on October 2nd. We also brought to you that Egypt demands permanent seat for Africa, Arab states at UN Security Council. And on sport, we informed you that Oshoala nets 6th goal of season in BFC's win over Seattle Reign. Remember to visit us on Facebook at Hillstv Abuja, Instagram at Hillstv Abuja, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Hillstv. I am Wisdom Onisi. Thanks for watching.